8 hours? 8 hours? I don't even work 8 hours on an 8-hour workday. Like let's say I'm doing an event. Let's say the event lasts for 9 hours. I'm not working the whole time I'm doing that. Okay, so it's like Jeff Bezos is not working harder than me. Elon Musk might be working harder than all of us. Okay, that he's an exception rather than the rule. Okay, but most people who are making millions of dollars are not working harder than you. Like we literally have free time to do stuff that we desire to do. Okay. Even though it's easier to make a lot of money in a short period of time, it is to make a little money over a long period of time, you have to become the person who learns the things to do that make a lot of money, and then you have to do them. And it's not that they're harder, it's just that they're different. It's actually easier to make $100,000 a month than it is to make $100,000 a year. It's easier to make $100,000 a week. I know. If you're listening to me right now and you're thinking, this joker sounds like he done lost his mind. I get that. I'm not going to argue that point. You are correct. I sound like I've lost my mind. And I did lose my mind. I lost the mind that was only able to make a little bit of money. And now I only have the mind that's able to make a lot, whatever a lot is. And I don't ever allow myself to think of any amount of money really as a lot. Like a $10 million day, that's not that big a deal. Myron, have you ever made $10 million in a day? Nope. Made $5 million in a day. It was easier to make $1 million in a day. I've not made $10 million in a day yet. I've not made $20 million in a day. I've not made $100 million in a day yet. But I know it's easier than making less than that. I know it's easier. Why? It's a principle. And by the way, you apply the principle. You say, I don't apply that. You do. Because all principles are microcosms of each other. If the principle is true in one arena, it also has to be true in another arena. Do we have anybody in here who was a track star in high school? Any track people? Or is there anybody here who runs? Right now you run? Okay. How often do you run? How far do you run? Okay. Any miles? 6 miles and 3 miles. Wow. Okay. So you can run a mile. Okay. So let's say Tina and I, we're going to get in a race. Yeah. Myron's got a brace on his leg. He can't run. Myron's never run anywhere in his life. Couldn't run, so I learned how to fight. Try me. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so if Tina and I are getting in a race, clearly, let's say we're going to have a 1 mile race. Clearly, Tina is going to win because she can run and I cannot run. I can't even walk fast. Don't feel bad for me. I'm okay with it. I'm so cool with it, I don't want to fool it. But Tina's going to win the race. So it's not fair for us to go the same distance. So let's make the race fair. Okay? So, Tina, you run a mile. I'm going to go 2 miles. Did I just say that backwards? I think I said it backwards. Did I say it backwards? I did say it backwards. But I'm a person of my word. And so now I've got to stick with it because I already said it. Now I'm going to lose twice as bad as I'm going to lose the first time. Everybody say really loudly, unless Tina's running and Myron's on a bicycle. Because I said she's going to run a mile. I said I'm going to go 2 miles. Watch this. I can go farther, faster, and use less energy. She's going to be way more tired at the end of her 1 mile running than I'm going to be at the end of my 2 miles on a bicycle. Even though I covered 2 miles faster than she covered 1. Why? Well, I'll tell you in a minute why. But that's not fair because I got a bike and she didn't have a bike, so let's make it fair. Let's give you a bike. And let's go 5 miles to 10. So you go 5 miles, I'll go 10 miles. You're going to win. Everybody saying left. I'm in a car. Now y'all starting to see how my mind works, aren't you? It's kind of scary. Okay? But that's not fair. So let's do 100 miles. But we're going to give you a car. That's there. Now Tina's going to win again. Unless she's on a bicycle and I'm in a car. I can do this all day. Let's give Tina a car. I'm on an airplane. She's in a car. Let's give her a plane. You got a plane. You're going to go 100 miles, 200 miles. I'm going to go 400 miles. You're going to win again. Everybody say unless I'm on a jet. Say, Myron, what's your point? You can always go farther, faster, and use less energy if you have the right leverage. That's one lesson. You can always go farther, faster, and use less energy if you have the right leverage. Now here's how many of y'all want the exciting part? Say, I want the exciting part. Here it is. I can always make up and leverage what I lack in ability. But most people, instead of looking for leverage, purchasing leverage, learning how to use leverage, what they do is they work on strengthening their weakness, which is running. And no matter how strong you make the weakness of running, no matter how strong you make that weakness, it's still just running. Okay. That's not fair. So let's go 100 miles. But we're going to give you a car. That's better. Now Tina's going to win again. Unless she's on a bicycle and I'm in a car. I can do this all day. Let's give Tina a car. I'm on an airplane. She's in a car. Let's give her a plane. You got a plane. You're going to go 100 miles, 200 miles. I'm going to go 400 miles. You're going to win again. Everybody say unless I'm on a jet. You say, Myron, what's your point? You can always go farther, faster, and use less energy if you have the right leverage. That's one lesson. You can always go farther, faster, and use less energy if you have the right leverage. Now here's how many of y'all want the exciting part? Say, I want the exciting part. Here it is. I can always make up and leverage what I lack in ability. But most people, instead of looking for leverage, purchasing leverage, learning how to use leverage, what they do is they work on strengthening their weakness, which is running. And no matter how strong you make the weakness of running, no matter how strong you make that weakness, it's still just running. Well, that's true in transportation. It has to also be true in finance. Because all principles are microcosms of each other. The reason, if you're struggling financially right now, the reason you're struggling is because you have very little, if any, financial leverage. I'm going to get into what I mean by financial leverage in a minute. But how many of you are wrapping your minds around the idea that, oh, this might actually be possible now? Okay, good. So there are 4 types of millionaire. This is something I discovered before I was any of these 4 types. And I decided that I was going to become these 4 different types of millionaires in a sequential order. And I'm going to do first things first, second things second, third things third, fourth things fourth. So there are 4 types of millionaires we're going to talk about today. How many types? 4. There's 4 types. The first type of millionaire is what I call a virtual millionaire. What's a virtual millionaire? Well, what's virtual mean? It means like something different than actual, something different than physical, something different than financial. So what is a virtual millionaire? Well, let me ask you a question. I'm going to go over to my digital blackboard and give you an illustration. And this is not a trick question. What I'm about to ask you is not a trick question. It is not a trick question. I hope I said that enough times that you know it is not a trick question. If I have, and I want you to answer me very, like boldly. If I have $1 million, am I a millionaire? Yes, I'm a millionaire. Now, what if I spend $1? Am I still a millionaire? Nope. I am now a $999,999-aire. That takes way too long to say. So the objective of acquiring $1 million is not so you can spend it. When you acquire $1 million, what do you want to do with it? You want to invest it. And if you invest it and live off the interest, and let's say, if you have $1 million, let's say you get 6% interest. What's 6% of $1 million? $60,000. So if you have $1 million and you invest it at 6%, it will give you $60,000 a year in income without you ever touching the $1 million. Somebody say, aha. So the objective then is to get the $1 million. Hey, you're a millionaire, but that doesn't mean you have $1 million to spend. That means you have $60,000 a year to spend. If you take $60,000 and you divide it, oopsie, by 12 months, how much is that per month? That gives you $5,000 a month in, watch this now, passive cash flow. Now, remember when we were in elementary school? They taught us a mathematical equation, or a mathematical formula. Here's the mathematical formula. Two things that are equal to the same thing are also equal to each other. Everybody learned that, right? Two things that are equal to the same thing are also equal to each other. Okay, great. That means if I save up $1 million and I invest it at 6%, I'm going to have $1 million. So the question then becomes, how long does it take me to save up $1 million? Okay, let's look at it. Let's say all you can do is save $100 a month. How long is it going to take you? It's going to take you 833 years to save $1 million. What if you could save $1,000 a month? I don't know how old you're going to be in 833 years, but I'm going to be like 898. Okay, it's a little on the old side to enjoy it. Okay, so what if I can save $1,000 a month? Well, it's only going to take me 83.3 years. Okay, well, what if I could save $10,000 a month? Now, it's only going to take me 8.3 years. Well, 8.3 years is doable. But who can save $10,000 a month? Very few people we know can save $10,000 a month, right? So the way to get to this millionaire lifestyle of $60,000 a month in passive cash flow, the best way to do that is probably not by saving money. Would y'all like for me to share with you a better way? Let's say you have some kind of membership site, school community, software on continuity, and let's say it makes you $100 a month. Like, people pay you $100 a month. You only need 50, I wrote 1,000, because you know me and my brain is thinking in thousands. Okay, so you only have 50 clients. So one of the math principles that I learned in elementary school, if you're multiplying two numbers that end in 0, you multiply two numbers, 5 times 5 times 1 is 5. Then you count the zeros, 1, 2, 3. That's $5,000 a month. If you have $100 a month continuity program, you only need 50 clients. And you have the exact same lifestyle, the exact same, as somebody who has $1 million invested at 6%. That is why I call it being a virtual millionaire. I have the lifestyle of a millionaire without having to have the accumulated cash of a millionaire. When I figured this out, I said, okay, that's easy. I can get to $5,000 a month in passive capital. I can do that. I can get $5,000 a month residual. Oh, I can find 50 people to pay me $100 a month for something. I want you to, this is not, first of all, I am not sharing theory with you. This is what I did. This is what I do. Like, I have so much passive money that comes in every month. Like, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month coming without me getting out of bed. Well, that's better than 5,000, but I had to start somewhere. And so, when I got to the place in my life, early in my entrepreneurial career, when I had $5,000 a month coming in, I was a millionaire. I wasn't a liquid millionaire. I wasn't a cash flow millionaire, but I was a virtual millionaire. And by the way, that felt as real to me as having $1 million invested at 6%. And if you do the $1 million, it's going to take you 833 years. If you save $100 a month, 83.3 years. If you're saving $1,000 a month, 8.3 years. If you're saving $10,000 a month. But you can do it in 3 or 4 months. Get 50 50 clients paying me $100 a month for a school community. There's this kid that I follow. He's got a school community where he charges $39 a month. Somebody take out your calculator and do the math. $39 a month. He's got 7,500 people. He's in his 20s. 7,500 people paying him $39 a month on school. $292,500 a month in your 20s. Why? Because he figured out the virtual millionaire formula. You do it on a big enough scale. Miguel and I, we've got a software that people either pay $99 a month or they pay or $97 a month or $297 a month. How many people we have on that? Do you know? 600 something? 700 something? We have 700 something people paying us that much money a month. You say, Myron, what are you saying? I am saying anybody can do this. Most people just won't be bothered. By the way, I believe this is the most logical first step for anybody who's serious about creating wealth for a family. Because what happens when you create $5,000 a month passive cash flow, residual, MRR, monthly recurring revenue, it frees up a whole bunch of time. By the way, if you can't live off of $5,000 a month, now you probably got some other mistakes you need to fix. Okay, so that's the first type of millionaire. Virtual millionaire. Now, how many of y'all, be honest, if you don't raise your hand, how many of you feel like you could do this inside 6 months or a year? You could get 50 people paying you, like, that's so crazy, amazing, doable. Okay, this is the first one, virtual millionaire. Okay, so that's the first type of millionaire. So what's the second type of millionaire? Second type of millionaire. This one really changed your life. Okay, the first one is virtual millionaire. The second one is a cash flow millionaire, which means you're cash flowing over $1 million a year. And this is like, I'm just going to call it 84,000. And like somebody said a long time ago, you quit smoking, you got a big garden, and you have a big garden in that hall, you live off 84,000. Okay, so, right, so 84,000 a month is relatively rich. Now, it ain't Bill Gates rich. But it shows up and it starts saying that. And so, 84,000 a month, you're cash flowing over $1 million a year. When you're cash flowing over $1 million a year, you feel like a baller. I'm going to say that. You're not actually a baller. But you feel like you might be. I know, because I felt like I was a baller at $30,000 a month until somebody who was really rich said, "Oh, you're doing really good. You're about to have a breakthrough to the really big money." I was like, I already breakthrough to the really big money. There's a level where $30,000 a month ain't big money. Let me get to that level. Okay, so 84,000 a month, cash flow millionaire. How are you going to get to 84,000 a month? Well, that requires a different level of skill. So one way you get to 84,000 a month is you could have $1,000 offer, $1,000, and then just sell 84 of them a month. Or you could have a $10,000 offer, start having a premium offer, and sell 8.4 of those a month. Or you could just have an $84,000 offer and sell one of those a month. And I know that all sounds good. Like, I've got a $27,000 offer. I mean, I have a $5,000 offer too, but I don't talk about that hardly ever. But I got a $27,000 offer. I got a $25,000 offer. I've got a $55,000 offer. I have a $375,000 offer. I have $1 million offer, and I've sold all of them. I've sold all those offers. I've had many people say yes to all of them. Well, I've only had 4 people say yes to the $1 million offer. But I've had dozens of people say yes to the $375,000 offer. Hundreds of people who said yes to the $55,000 offer. Hundreds of people who said yes to the $27,000 offer. And the $25,000. So all I'm saying is this is doable. I'm just reporting back on what I did. See, how do you create this? Well, you have to understand the formula. And this is a formula I got from Daniel Priestley. I didn't make this up, I got it from Daniel. Okay? Income follows assets. By the way, you could either acquire assets, like you could buy them, and then the income can follow, or you can create them. I love creating assets. My favorite favorite kind of assets to create are SRAs, self-replenishing assets. You say, what's a self-replenishing asset? It's like this book is a self-replenishing asset. I wrote this book 20 years ago. It's called From the Trash Man to the Cash Man, How Anyone Can Get Rich Starting From Anywhere, because I used to be a trash man. I made $6.25 an hour. And I wrote this book about how I became a millionaire. And when I wrote this book, that's funny, look at that picture. That's me back in 1995. Okay. You say, is that your son? No, that's me before I became this version of Myron. Okay, so I wrote this book 20 years ago. And it sells for $20 on my website. And when I sell this book, can I only sell it once or can I sell it more than once? More than once. Okay. If I sell it 1,000 times, do I have to stop selling it? If I sell it 100,000 times, do I have to stop selling it? If I sell it 1,000,000 times, do I have to stop selling it? No. Why? Because it's a self-replenishing asset. I write the book once, and I sell it for the rest of my life.
Okay.
This book that I wrote 20 years ago makes me almost $100,000 a year for work I did 20 years ago. It's about to be making me a whole lot more than that. This book right here, I wrote this book 5 years ago. It sells for $30. Both books have $9.99 shipping and handling. I'm showing you what I mean by self-replenishing asset. This book makes me a couple $100,000 a year. It's a 5-year-old work. It's a 5 year. But it's a self-replenishing asset. I never run out. This is like manna from heaven. Right? It just keeps self-replenishing every day. Okay, cool. So we just started running ad campaigns to both of these books. We were averaging about $200 to $300 a day, sometimes $400 a day worth of books, both books. Now we're averaging over $1,000 a day. One day last week we had like a $1,400 a day just selling books. The day before yesterday was like $1,200 in books. That's mind-blowing to me. Self-replenishing asset. Okay, cool. So we have two kinds of millionaire. The first one is what? Virtual millionaire. The second one is what? Cash flow millionaire. When you become a virtual millionaire, it frees up your mental bandwidth. It frees up your time so you can figure out what kind of assets to create that will make you a cash flow millionaire. I can't believe I'm teaching you all mastermind level stuff on YouTube. Okay, cat's out of the bag. Okay, so the next one, number 3, is a liquid millionaire. What's a liquid millionaire? This is where I've accumulated at least $1 million. Or if I've accumulated more than $1 million, then I'm a liquid multi-millionaire. Took me a while to get to that. Like cash flow millionaire, virtual millionaire, a couple months. Cash flow millionaire, a few years. Liquid millionaire took me probably almost a decade to become a liquid millionaire. But it didn't have to, it just did. And by the way, can I give you all a caveat? Can I give you all a warning? Can I give you all a disclaimer? One of the biggest hindrances to getting to the next level is your current level. One of the things that keeps people from making $250,000 a year is making $100,000 a year. Because what happens, you get to $100,000 a year, you were used to making $40,000 a year, and now all of a sudden you start getting comfortable and like chillaxing. You get to $250,000 a year, it'll keep you from getting to $500,000 a year if you start wallowing in the fact that you believe that $200,000 a year, $250,000 a year is a lot of money. So one of the things, it's not because I'm not content. I am content and I am very grateful, but I'm not satisfied. I'm not done. I have not arrived. I don't ever allow myself to think of any amount of money as a lot of money. See, people think when I say, it's only we only did $3 million last, let's say, we only did $3 million last month, right? People think, oh, you're just flexing. No, I'm not flexing. What I'm doing is I'm protecting myself from a mental limitation. Because seldom will I make as much as, never will I make more than the amount I allow myself to think of as a lot of money. So I don't allow myself to think of $3 million in a month as well. I don't allow myself to think of $10 million in a month.
Hi, good morning. Bree, can you call Jesse and book his next appointment? And then, but before you call him, can you call and see if Nathan answers and see if he can move up to 9 o'clock?
People
see if Nathan can move up to 9.
Okay. So,
And then call
so
Jesse and see if he, and call Jesse.
When they think of being a millionaire, this is what they think of.
And then call Jesse and make his next appointment. I did see like a couple of leads come through our phone. I don't know if you got it on your end. If you don't, please let me know so I can send them. Huh? You said what now?
I heard Nathan and Jesse next month with the rest of the year.
I did see a couple of leads come through the shop phone, but I don't know if you got them, so let me know if you got them leads. But yeah, just do them soon. If you don't got them leads, let me know so I can send them to you. Huh?
Just in case, please.
Okay. Okay, I'll tell Jonathan.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, never mind. Nathan just said he can do 9 a.m. Can you just move that? I already asked him. He just didn't answer. But he just answered now. Can you just move Nathan up to 9? And then block my books off after that. Okay. Okay. But if somebody else calls and they want to get in, let me know. So I'm not. Okay. So I would just call Jesse and book his appointment, and then I'll try to get these leads to you. Okay. Okay. Yeah, what's your ETA? Yeah, because the client is coming in at 9. The client is coming in at 9. Alright. Hey Alexa, YouTube, Myron Golden.
Searching YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut this off and turn it right back on with my next client. I think